Ever Media Show Money Taking, the man, the myth, the legend, the most electrifying villain in all of YouTube entertainment today. And I'm back. I've been on a little bit of a hiatus, did some soul searching, mostly writing a new book, so stay tuned for details about that. But I am here to talk about one of my favorite sagas. We have a brand new movie here to talk to you guys about that I got to see a screening for. It's a 3-day limited release in theaters for a new Pooniverse movie. Yes, we have a new Pooniverse movie, Peter Pan's Neverland Nightmare. This is the third movie that has come out. So the first two movies were Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, 1 and 2. And now we are to our first big bad. And I'm not even joking to you guys. This guy is the Thanos. This guy is the Thanos of the Pooniverse. He is the one that we are going to be wanting our other anti-heroes, serial killers, to go up against. Okay, so what is this story about? This story is a twisted retelling of the story of Peter Pan. And I'm going to do my goods, my bads, my negatives, and my overall score. Now, first off, before you get into this, before we even get into this, I have to let you guys know, these movies are an acquired taste. I happen to personally like this universe. I can understand why people don't. And there's some ridiculous people out there that go, you can't take my childhood fantasy, Winnie the Pooh and Peter Pan and what Disney did, and just shut up, okay? I have seen the same fucking retelling of these characters 3-4 different times, different companies, different takes on the same thing. So I'm okay with a horror version of these characters. Now, this is the big thing, the quality. The first movie was dog shit, but I was super stoned. I loved it. Second movie was entertaining, okay? It wasn't high quality. I'm not saying it's going to blow your socks off, okay? But I had fun. There were a couple of things I pointed out. You guys can go check out my Blood and Honey 2 review. I did point out the negatives. Now, the third movie. First off, let me start with the positives because there's a couple of negatives, but I want to highlight some good things. The makeup effects are actually pretty good. The kills in this movie are fucking disturbing, okay? But the biggest thing about this movie is there's actually a story in here. There's a story that's starting to connect all of these movies together. And I gotta say, the guy who plays Peter Pan is a mixture of Pennywise from It, Heath Ledger's Joker, and what was the third thing he reminded me of? He just hit a bunch of ranges, okay? Now, I'm not going to do spoilers in this review because it's technically only out for 3 days in limited theaters. But I will say this. Peter Pan is fucking terrifying in this movie. Also, too, a bit of a warning. A lot of kids get killed in this movie. This is a dark kind of villain origin story for Peter Pan. So what I mean is my big negative and my positive is this is really grounded, which makes it scary, but it also takes out the fantastical elements of the movie. There's a lot of things that happen that can be considered supernatural or be considered like real life. Like, he levitates, but there's a reason why. I'm not going to go into spoilers here. I will say Tinkerbell is in this movie. And this isn't a spoiler. If you've seen the trailers, Tinkerbell's a heroin addict. This shit is crazy wild. Also, there is a lot of things. So our main antagonist, hello, how are you? Our main antagonist is also, or our main protagonist is Wendy. So each of these movies are setting up a different hero who's in the fairy tale myth as the good guys. So what I'm gathering here is if you guys have ever seen the movie Freddy versus Jason, they're doing that, but with the Disney characters and the fairy tale characters. And I got to tell you, it's actually a really great idea. I've heard a lot of people shitting on these movies and saying, oh, it's just I think this guy actually has a plan. He has a story and a direction he's going to. Now, I'm not going to say it's perfect the way it's done because it's quite messy, but I see the vision. And I respect anybody who has a dream. They have an idea. They have a plan. I'll tell you one thing. This is more entertaining than anything I've watched from Disney last year, except for Deadpool Wolverine. This is actually an interesting way to go about things. Okay. I really like it. And the crocodile is in this. Now, not in the way you think, but we have all of the characters in here. Also, the guy says that the big three bad guys for the team up movie is going to be Peter Pan, Mary Poppins, and the Mad Hatter. So I'm very curious at when all these movies come together and when we follow this, what we're going to get to, because that's going to determine my overall what I think of this. And I might do a whole series breakdown once all the movies come out. We've got Peter Pan's Neverland Nightmare coming out and Bambi the Reckoning. And then I forgot the last movie that was, Pinocchio Unstrung. The Pinocchio movie looks really good. They're using like actual puppets. I think it's important to support this because I really want to see this dude get the money to see what his end game is for these. Now, let me get to the negatives, and there's quite a bit. And this isn't me saying you shouldn't see the movie, but I'm just letting you know what you're in for. The storytelling is all over the place, and it kind of slows the pacing of the movie down in certain parts, and then other things aren't explained. Now, I'm giving this movie the benefit of the doubt because I get you don't want to reveal the villain's backstory right away, right? You don't want to lay all your cards on the table. My only issue is, and I think that the issue people will have with this movie, is the actor is so good at playing this demented Peter Pan that inherently you want to know more about this character. And they give you absolutely nothing. Like by the end of this movie, I had no clue what his motives are. Is he supernatural? Does fucking Neverland exist? Like, was he in Neverland and it went away? He can't get back to it. Is it even really a thing? Is it in his head? The way the movie plays it lets the audience determine whether Neverland is real. But here's the thing. They don't give us enough hints either way. And I think that the script needed like 2 or 3 more passes because these ideas and concepts are very solid. And the acting is decent. And I'll get to some of the other characters. But the acting from the cast that is important. Wendy, Peter Pan, and the little boy, it's decent. It's serviceable. The issue is I don't have enough story to really latch onto in this movie. And I think that's going to frustrate a lot of people because people love Terrifier, but they get frustrated with not getting enough answers. And that's really good. This is not quite there. But I got to tell you, folks, every movie I've seen has gotten better and better and better. Like I saw the interviews with Scott Chambers. He's the director. And I see he has a vision. I see he has a plan. I just think the writers need to look at these scripts a little bit more. And I think they should not do releasing 5 or 6 movies at a time. They're super cheap to make. I understand that. But it really hurts the story. The final battle in this is not anticlimactic, but it left me feeling like you could feel where the budget was and the fact that they didn't have enough money to do what they wanted to do. And I'm a sucker for the little guy who makes these movies and he's underfunded and he has a vision and he just doesn't have the money to put the vision where he wants it. But I can see the progression. And it's crazy that from Blood and Honey to Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 2 to this movie, they get better, which means the more money they got, the more stuff they can pull off, the better these movies are getting. I don't know if you guys have seen the behind the scenes for Pinocchio Unstrung, but that looks awesome. Robert Englund is signed up. Richard Brake. If you don't know who Richard Brake is, watch any Rob Zombie movie. He's like the antagonist or the asshole in every one of those movies. He's a great character actor. They got these people for the Pinocchio movie. I'm super excited for that. And I see the vision. And I'm wondering if some of the budget went towards that, some went towards Bambi. But I mean, if you want to see childhood fairy tale monsters fucking people up, you'll love these movies. Also, if you get drunk and high and go see these, 10 out of 10. Great time. I was a little buzzed when I went to see this. And I got to tell you guys, I had fun with this. And I think at the end of the day, this to me is like a Fast and Furious, right? I don't go to Fast and Furious with a super critical mind like, oh my God, the camera work. That could never happen. What, they're bouncing a giant ball and stealing a safe. That's Fast and Furious. You go into that movie knowing what you're going to get. And these movies are the same way. Like, look, I can sit here and tell you I love the movie, whatever else. But at the end of the day, this is a movie I can honestly say that depends on the person. Some people are going to go and see this and think it's so fun, so clever what they're doing. And some people are going to go see this and think it's a pile of shit. I am trying to look at this as somebody who reviews movies. Now, I will have a review up for Den of Thieves, which has a bigger budget in this movie, and it's a pile of shit. This movie is actually good. It's actually like they put effort. Like, I went to see Den of Thieves 2, and I'll have my review up soon. That movie was fucking boring, and I did not like it. And I saw Den of Thieves 1 before this one and said, what the fuck happened between 1 and 2? Did you get a different director, different writers? I mean, 2 totally different movies. Same director, 2 of the same leads. And it sucked. These are getting progressively better with different actors, different characters, different leads. And I'm interested. I'm intrigued. Now, with that being said, I'm not going to say, I'm going to give this 2 scores because I don't feel it's fair critically to what I think this is versus to how I personally feel about this. So my personal score is an 8 because I loved it. I had fun. But from a critical sense, from taking myself out of me enjoying it and what I believe the movie's sitting at right now, it is about a 6, maybe a 7. My last review for Blood and Honey 2 was about a 5 or a 6 because even though I enjoyed it, I did see where they dropped the ball near the ending. Here, I think the ending was pulled off a little bit better, but there's a lot of moments where it slows down the pace of the movie, where it kind of takes the focus off of what I came to see, which is Peter Pan, and it goes into Wendy's backstory and all this other thing. And I get it, you guys set up the characters or whatever, but they spend a little bit too much time with people I don't care about. And from that angle, my critical score, I'm going to land at a 6.5. My inner child, the person who wants me to see these fairy tale characters murk some people, is sitting at an 8. I really enjoyed this movie. I really liked it a lot. Now, disclaimer before I go, very important. If you are sensitive to kids being murdered, this is not the movie for you. There's literal scene where he kidnaps a busload of kids. So if you're not comfortable with violence or harm towards children, this is not going to be the movie for you. Also, too, if you didn't like Blood and Honey 2, I would say, not so much 1. I'm not even counting 1. 1 was just a start. If you didn't like the second movie, you're probably not going to like this one because this one is more serious than the second movie, as it should be. You're dealing with somebody who's kidnapping kids to bring them to Neverland. And Tinkerbell's on heroin. Dude, that dude, I gotta say, in a million years, I never would have thought there would have been somebody who came up with the idea of making. Hey, what's up? Yeah, Tinkerbell's a heroin addict. Uh, and I gotta say, I respect this because it's something new. I In a million years, if you told me 10, 20 years ago when I was watching the original Peter Pan that they would make Peter Pan kidnap children like fucking it, and he would sound like Heath Ledger's Joker, and that Tinkerbell, because she couldn't get back to Neverland, is a heroin addict, I would have never believed you. But seeing it on screen, I gotta say, most amazing shit I've ever watched. This movie is just fun, okay? As a horror fan, this is a fun time. And it makes me fascinated when people have original ideas and are willing to execute something that's a little bit against the grain. And to be honest with you, after all of the Disney remakes and reboots and bullshit that I've seen over there, I think this is why these movies have the fan base they have, is because people want something fresh and new. Like now, 1,000 movies are coming out copying these IPs, but the Pooniverse started it. Blood and Honey started it. And I got to give respects to Scott Chambers. And if you haven't seen Scott Chambers, go check out a YouTube video by Rockland Graves, or my good friend of the channel, Killjoy Jake, has also done things with this director. He seems like a really nice guy, and he seems like he has a plan for these movies and a vision. And who would have thought somebody would have came up with the idea of doing an Avengers style movie with a twisted fairy tale where all of the fairy tale creatures are evil? That's just crazy. That's like out of the box thinking. Hey, what's up? Yeah, Christine, you can check out the rerun. But yeah, I think that at the very least, if you're not going to see this in theaters, it's got a 3-day run. I saw it on its limited release. Go and wait for it on VOD. Seriously, I think we should support directors who are not working with studios. This dude funds everything. He is putting his own money into this, and everything he makes, he puts back into these movies and paying the crew and things like that. And I call me crazy. I see the love that everybody's putting into this, and it's resonated so much that they got Robert Englund, and if you don't know who that is, Freddy Krueger himself, and Richard Brake to be in Pinocchio. That is nuts. Richard Brake is gonna play Geppetto. That's fucking crazy. And these are icons I grew up with. So for them to see potential, I think there's something here. Call me crazy. Maybe this universe is going to suck. I don't know. But for me, this feels like something that you get kind of like with Terrifier. These guys blaze the trail for people to copy them and use other IPs that are now eminent and are in the public domain. And I respect that. I respect the vision. I respect the clear love and care that this person has for their product. And they must resonate with a lot of people because there's a lot of other big streamers on this platform and a lot of other people who have talked to this director. He gives interviews. He's a nice guy. I don't know. That goes a long way with how I feel when I watch a movie. If I know that this isn't just to capitalize, this isn't just to make money, this person really cares about the project. They don't have oversight. They don't have a bunch of company bigwigs telling them what to do. This is what they want to do. And I mean, you don't have to like the vision, but I think you should respect the vision. I mean, you don't have to endorse it. You don't have to believe in it. You don't have to think, you know, I think, though, there is a certain amount of respect as somebody who creates things myself and as somebody who writes. I can honestly respect somebody who isn't just in it for cash, but has a real passion for what they're doing. And I'm not going to lie, seeing interviews with the director, I really see his passion and his love and his ideas and the wheels turning when he's talking about different directions he wants to go with these. And I say, give him a chance. Let him finish out his vision. I want to see an Avengers-styled nightmare creatures fighting each other, like with all of the survivors caught in the middle. That sounds fucking epic. Sounds fun. And don't we go to the movies for fun? I'm tired of being stressed out every time I do a review. I'm tired of being angry. Last year, I had a lot of shows to be happy about. So I am giving Peter Pan's Neverland Nightmare 2 scores. From a critical sense, a 6.5. From a inner child, an 8. I had a blast with this movie. I really enjoyed it. Do have a couple of drinks. It enhances the experience. And give this one a try. If you don't want to see it in theaters, then go on Prime when it comes out and, pay the $10 it'll be, because they're not that expensive. I think Blood and Honey 2 for me to purchase was $10. I got it. Show these guys some support, because all the money is going into something that they love. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. If you like this video, hit that like, share, subscribe, all of the YouTube things. Also, I will be making later tonight my review of Den of Thieves number 2. Why did we need it? Who the fuck knows? Once again, this is what I mean. People who make shit that we don't need. Did we need Gladiator 2? No. Did we need a Crow reboot? No. Fucking Borderlands? No. So, support this movie. Don't see that movie. Thank you very much. And as always, remember, there is only one rule here in the Phantom Zone. Kneel before General Zod.